Hello, friends. This is a little impromptu recording that I don't want to do a fancy intro for, so I want to hop right into talking about being held back by imposter syndrome. Because, oh, because, because of the wonderful thing it is. I don't know what the words were, but yeah, because holding ourselves back by imposter syndrome. I'm going to say this is something that, in a bit of hubris, to be perfectly honest, which if you don't know what hubris is, you should definitely Google it. In a bit of hubris, I had thought that I had healed beyond having imposter syndrome. And in the download that I am receiving this morning, I am very clearly understanding that there is no such thing as being beyond imposter syndrome because it's relative. It's relative to the level you're currently living at. And you can feel, a little too big for your britches, or your britches are too big for you. Which way are the britches? Which I don't know. I think you get what I'm saying though. On every time you expand in this world, it is so natural in the early stages of that expansion, of like exploring that new territory. You literally have no idea what you're doing because you've never been there before. And what I'm realizing through some, expansion that I'm exploring, new territory that I'm exploring, is that I am definitely resonating with kind of finding my own edges, like having imposter syndrome, where you feel like, am I really capable of this? Am I biting off more than I can really chew? Should I keep waiting and practicing until I'm more ready? Like maybe if I was more ready, I wouldn't feel this disease of like, I just feel wobbly in this new space. Imposter syndrome. Like I'm trying to live at a level where there's part of me that's ready for that, and that's why I'm there living the new level, because technically in my whole self I am ready. And the part that is like the imposter syndrome symptom of the part of me that probably isn't ready, the little girl Carly part of me that doesn't have the same toolbox that parent Carly, adult Carly has. And I think imposter syndrome is a little bit, I called it being knocked down a peg or two a couple weeks ago or last week. I think it just is like, it's healthy to some extent to question your own readiness. And I'm not saying get stuck there and wallow there forever by any means, but go with me for a second, because the alternative is to not question your readiness or your capabilities, or, are you doing good in the world, or are you causing harm? I mean, asking that question, I think, is a sign of a healthy ego and a good open heart, of really truly wanting to do good things in the world. And imposter syndrome, to some extent, is kind of like keeping yourself in check and worrying that because I've never done this before, I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to accidentally hurt somebody because I didn't know what I was doing and I was trying to learn as I go. It's worry about causing harm in the world because maybe I'm not as qualified for this current level as I feel like I was. But the fact that you're there means that holistically you are ready. And that is something that I feel like I am really truly grounding into this morning, this like literal acceptance and love for imposter syndrome. Because it's a surefire sign that I've grown, that I've expanded, because now I'm trying to live at a higher level than I've ever done before, and I'm feeling uneasy about it. So it's a sign of expansion. That's helpful. It's good to know. I think, this is definitely what I'm going to do, and you guys do whatever you want, but I'm definitely going to opt for giving myself grace as I feel it, because again, I don't think there's an end to it necessarily, or should there be, or that there should be an end to it. Because, like I said, I think it's a sign of a good heart that you're somewhat concerned that you're doing a good job. And that's not wrong. But also, at the same time, part of the download this morning that really, dude, talk about losing it, really got me going in the crying department. Oh, my higher self, like, with such simplicity and gravity in just a few words, like, you are so hard on yourself. The standards that you hold yourself to, you would never consciously impose on anybody, especially somebody you're trying to love. Those standards that you hold yourself to, that fear of making a mistake, the fear of causing harm to another person, like, those are all signs of a good heart. And the world needs more of your good heart, especially in this time. The world needs you to be empowered and to share your heart when it matters most, and to protect it in the times when it needs to be protected, to cleanse your energy and release what's in your heart as it needs to come out. Really engage with what is inside of you. Because the fact that you're experiencing imposter syndrome, to me, says, like, you are on the right path, and I applaud you for pushing your own personal boundaries, because if you were still in your comfort zone, you wouldn't be feeling imposter syndrome. So kudos to you on all of that.